So I just want to put a thing out here real quick that I've been going on Maga sites and Republican sites and wherever you guys tag me, and I try to get in there and comment with people and invite them for conversations. I have quite a few people that are going to start coming over into the Purple Revolution. And what we have to make sure we don't do, even if they're filled with anger at first, accept them like y'all accepted me. Have that understanding of what I've been through. Have that understanding that it's going to take a little bit to be able to seep through that wall that's been built. You can't fight fire with fire. You know what I mean? And we can't sit here and complain that they're refusing to come over and get out of that and then sit there and nag on them and bash them and all these other things that some people are doing. I haven't seen it really in the Purple Revolution, but I've seen it on other sites where people are saying that they're afraid to because the reaction that they're going to get. They always get the I told you so, or you voted for them, so now you can suck it up and deal with what you got. We don't want you on our side. I've seen that quite a bit. And that's got to stop too, because that's not going to unite anybody by telling them, hey, you voted for that person. Suck it up and deal with it. That's not what we are as Americans. That's not what we are here in the Purple Revolution, and that's not the qualities that we carry. We accept everybody. We all have to help heal everybody and each other. There's a lot that we have been put through for decades and decades. Generations have honestly been put through this. So this isn't healing that we're just coming from now and healing people from coming from whatever they were in at this point in time. We got to help heal the generations from before us too. We got to help the generation behind us. We can't just worry about the now. Because everybody's been through it. We've all been manipulated for as long as most of us can remember. But we just have to learn to be accepting. I know we're not all therapists. I know we're not here to take on everybody's problems. And I'm not saying to do so, but you can still be here for people and not have to take on their problems. Just listen. That's all. That's the biggest thing, is just listen. Respond with kindness. Respond with our message that we just want unity and that we can fix our problems later. You cannot fight fire with fire. It just adds fuel to it. So, please be inviting of the people. Please don't attack them and blame them. We're all in this together. Okay? And that's the way it has to be. It was the same thing in the military. One messes up, we all mess up. We all have to hold accountability. Because we are each other's best friends. We are each other's caregivers. We are each other's people that we go to because we don't have anybody else to go to. We don't have a government to rely on. We shouldn't need to rely on the government anyways. They should be hardly anything in our existence. We should barely have to hear anything from the government. I don't understand how they got so involved in our everyday life. Does anybody else remember when politics used to be boring? Like, it used to be really boring. And now it's just a constant drama. High School Musical. That's what it reminds me of. One of them High School Musical movies that come out. You go on there and you just hear, oh, no, it's their fault. Oh, no, it's their fault. Oh, no, it's their... Man, you guys sound like my kids. Y'all sound like my kids. And you're the people running our country. To me, for the simple fact that both sides allowed this shutdown to happen, they should be kicked out of office for it. Because you are all grown-ass folk. Grown folk. Acting like a bunch of kids. It doesn't make no sense. And in this whole time, you have not once reached out to your constituents. Not once. You do it on a camera. But nobody ever sees any of you guys coming down into these towns and cities and putting your boots on the ground and putting the work in. Like we are. Because that's the important thing. The people want to see the work put in. They want to see the effort that you're standing up for them. So, here I am. And you're about to meet quite a few others too. Since you can't do the job, I'm going to do my damnedest to step up and do everything I can to do the job for you. Because when we show that we can do the job ourselves without you, that's the day you guys realize you're screwed. God bless and much love.
I've been thinking a lot about this Purple Revolution stuff, and I'm theoretically into it. We have a serious class divide issue, not a party divide issue. However, this still feels like white people galvanizing and leaving a wake of marginalized victims behind us. Learned prejudice is a festering, inherited wound. One that we have tried for so long to deny and ignore, and it just makes us sicker and sicker and sicker. If you're coming in here from Maga, I've met a lot of you recently, and I'm willing to talk to you because you've always been my aunts and uncles. You've always been the people I'm in a room with. But we talk about uncomfortable stuff over here. We find out why we feel how we feel and where those things come from. Cultural othering is not biology. It is a tool wielded by governments to stop us from doing this very thing, getting together and demanding our fair share of the money. If we're allying now because you lost your farm, you also need to acknowledge the brown people who've lost their freedom, the trans people who can no longer serve in our military, the gay people who will possibly not be married next year, the black men and their razor bumps, the black women who have been running around in the background, becoming the most educated group in our country. So to say that they didn't earn a spot, you have to assume when you see a black pilot or a black doctor, that person actually is probably 10 times as qualified, possibly more, to equal the confidence of a mediocre white man with 1 degree trying to take that job. These are all truths that you have to also digest. Now, there are lots of people doing TikTok lives all over the place who are willing to share these ideas with you, and not white people. Do not learn it from white people, learn it from people of color because they have the lived experience and they are not lying and they're not complaining and they're not being annoying. Those are the people that are willing to learn. Don't go to the people in your life. Just sit and listen and shut up. There's been plenty of times that I've wanted to jump in there and say, I've never put a raisin in potato salad. Why do I have to live with that shadow my entire life? But clearly, some other white person made that happen before me, and now I have to live with it.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we'll be talking about the purple resolution. Purple resolution. If it's your first time of coming into my channel, please subscribe, like, share, and drop your comments in the comment section. Don't forget, this video is for educational purposes and not to lash anyone. And aside that, credit belongs to the rightful owners of the clips I'll be attaching to this video. Let's dive into it.
To my conservative friends out there, I think we can all agree the last administration was corrupt as fuck. The problem is the same rich-ass motherfuckers that funded that administration also fund this one. Both sides are massively funded by AIPAC money. They take their orders from AIPAC, not the American people. It's just a bunch of rich motherfuckers protecting their interests. And we are not one of them. What they want is for us to be fighting each other so that we're not actually dealing with them. They want us distracted with stupid bullshit like trans people in sports and stuff that really doesn't matter on a massive scale. It's not left versus right. It's always been top versus bottom. This administration does not give a shit about any one of us. They care about their corporate donors, like the ones using AI to steal all our data and police us. They're trying to put a new world order together. And the sooner all of us realize that and start working together, we can actually do something about it. It's not blue and red anymore. It is purple. It is the People Party versus the 1%.
In these Purple Revolution videos, I find it very interesting. But black people, I don't think any of this is our business. They're talking about the left coming together, the right coming together, blue plus red to get the purple revolution. And what they want to, they're now opening their eyes and realizing that they've been bamboozled. They've been hoodwinked. They're now realizing that it's not really a left versus right? That it's a top versus down. They're just not realizing it. And they're realizing it because Donald Trump's policies are tagging their asses. They are suffering. And that suffering has helped them to open their eyes. There's another hashtag, the awakening. Black people, I really don't think this has anything to do with us, because they are talking about coming together for their rights, human rights, those types of things. We've always been on that. Every time we stepped into the voting booth, we were voting for everyone, including racist MAGA Republicans. We knew when we went into the voting booth on November 5th, we knew Donald Trump's policies was going to rip this country apart. We knew that if Donald Trump got back into office, that MAGA would be hurting. They went into the voting booth thinking that Donald Trump's policies was only going to be hurting us, the immigrants. They went into the voting booth to vote for policies to hurt us. Now they're learning what we were saying. Donald Trump's policies will hurt everyone. And so now they're afraid of losing their rights. Now they're afraid of not being able to pay their bills. Now they're afraid of not being able to put food on the table. And so they want to come together. They want to unify to try to beat this regime, try to hold on to whatever rights they have, to be able to put food on the table. They want to come together to fight against the elite at the top and the Donald Trump regime. But we've always been on that. This is a revolution amongst themselves. This is a conversation that they need to have amongst themselves. I think we just need to sit back and continue to live life and do what we've been doing. We've always been on the right side of things. We've always seen Donald Trump and all of those before him what they were about. We tried to tell them. The one guy with the Purple Revolution handle, I just watched him do a video holding himself accountable for how he has behaved as a Trump supporter. He's holding himself accountable. He is apologizing. He has called out black people, apologizing to black people and other people. But even though their goal is to unify, to topple the regime, what steps do you plan to take in order to do that? They don't want to make it political. I saw one guy say, it's not about politics, not about policy. Well, how do you plan to topple the regime? How do you plan to hold on to your rights? You have to vote in order to do that. You have to make your voice heard. So you don't want to talk about politics. You don't want to talk about that. But how do you plan to do that? In the end, he said, by any means necessary, whatever they need to do. Okay, well, that includes voting. That includes looking at policy. So the one guy, he makes more sense than some of the other videos that I've seen. I saw another video where the guy was talking about human rights for all. That means for immigrants in this country. That means for members of the LGBTQIA plus community. That means members of the black community. He went down the line. Human rights for all. All lives are to be respected. So some of them get it, but some of them talking about this purple revolution don't. It's going to take a combination of things. Are you willing to step up to vote the Republican Party out? Because that's where the problem lies. Are you able to admit that the people that you've been voting for have brought us to this point? Too many of the videos that I've seen have been talking about both sides. Yeah, the Democrats got issues, but the Democrats never talked about taking away your rights. The Democrats have always fought for health care. So, black people, y'all let me know. I ain't got nothing to do with this purple revolution. I don't trust any of these MAGA people, former MAGA people. I don't trust them at all. I'm not downing what it is that they are trying to do. I think it's a good thing that their eyes are opening. I think it's a good thing that they want to take action. I think it's a good thing that they want to create this purple revolution. I just don't think it's my business. They need to work amongst themselves. They were the issue. They were the ones terrorizing black people. They were the ones terrorizing the people on the left. So, yeah, I won't be part of a purple revolution. I don't even want to deal with leftists. No, I don't want to deal with leftists. I don't trust leftists either. So, I hope that they can get it together to make an impact, to help us move past this. I want that for them. And for anybody that's on the left, that's a Democrat, that feel that they can move with these people to help get them to the place where they need to be so that change can happen, more power to you. I encourage you to do that. I'm just not the one who's going to do it. I don't trust them. Nope. Maya Angelou told me, once they show you who you are, believe them. The first time.
Hi, why I oppose the purple resolution? Ladies and gentlemen, we were told that the purple resolution, this attempt to bring red and blue together, is a pathway to healing and unity. But I stand today to say that I do not support it. Why? Because forced unity with ideologies that denies truth is not science. It ignores science, trample rights, oppose authoritarianism, is not unity. Then it is called surrender. So we can't simply mix red and blue and call it progress. That purple you see there may look like compromise, but too often it is just a diluted version of justice, equity, and accountability. So let's talk about the Magas. The Maga movement. This is where the red meets controversy. It's not just about a conservative viewpoint. It has a time. And it has time and time again aligned itself with elections, election denialism, attacks on democratic institutions. And this deeply touches the social agenda. So why should we compromise extremism and forget what is at stake with voting rights, freedom, climate action, LGBTQ, and so on, and then truth itself? So they try to see that the people like me are most vulnerable, and that is not acceptable at all. And partisans should work when both sides comes to work in good faith, grounded efforts, and agree in democratic terms. But when one side is actively undermining those norms and meeting them halfway, this isn't noble. It is dangerous. So all we need is accountability and not appeasement. We need courage and not compromise for the sake of optics. So for me, it's a capital N-O, no, because I do not support the purple resolution, because some divides exist for a reason. And healing healing itself does not begin with forgetting what happened. It begins with justice. So tell me in the comment section, what is your viewpoint on this? Don't forget that credit belongs to the rightful owners of the clips I will be attaching on this video. And this video is not to lash anyone, but it is for educational purposes. I'm open to your comments, your observations, your opinions, and don't forget to click on the like, subscribe, share, and then turn on your notification bell so that you'll be getting updates and heads up from me. For now, I'll say bye, peace, and love.